We're going to take a look at section assembly. What you're looking at here is a draft in TempoWeave that I have marked off portions of this draft in sections. When you see a draft with the warp or the threading colored, you'll know it's got sections marked. So I can go into the design menu, click section marker and section assembly, and the section assembly causes this panel to come out. And let's take a look at what these sections mean. Notice the tabs across the top. So in Warp, I've defined two sections for my draft. One I've named dividing section. It's in threads 1 to 30, and another body section, which is in threads 31 to 98. And I did that by simply dragging with my section marker across the width to mark the sections. Of course, sections, you can change the name, you can change the location or delete them by double clicking in available sections, and you can drag these available ones down into groups. You can add groups, repeat the groups, you can repeat the sections within the groups. There's a lot of flexibility in what you can do. The same thing exists for the weft sections. If you'll look here, you might notice I have two sections that are overlapping. So I have right here the dividing sections going from 1 to 30, and then there's a small two-thread section called close in 1 to 2, and that's okay. You can have as many overlapping sections as you want. You can see here that I needed something called close to kind of balance out the draft. So let's just see what this looks like. There's a green button on any of these tabs, and I can hit that from anywhere and generate the draft. So that follows my rules of how many repeats that I want. And I'm going to click the view. I'll do the quick render. And you can see what this looks like. It's here I have those little circles. I think they were called dividing. I had done those twice, and looks like I had done the body one time. And also notice that it says untitled. It's not saved, it's generated just on your computer. You can choose to save it or just close that window and it goes away. And I'm back to my original one that we were looking at with the sections marked. So let's make some changes and see what happens. Let's go into warp threads first, and instead of where we had the dividing sections 2, let's change that back to 1, and let's do 2 of the body sections and see what that looks like. And as I do this, notice down here, I had previously set my ends per inch and picks per inch in project settings, so I can see at a glance how wide that warp is in the read. And also for weft, let's do a similar thing. Let's change our dividing sections maybe to be 1 repeat and maybe our body to be 2. Now I'm at 32 inches woven. So let's hit generate and see what that looks like. I'll do the view. So now, if you remember what it looked like before, now I've got 3. I didn't intend to do 3, so let's go make a change. So we'll close the cloth viewer. I'll close this generated draft and see what I did wrong. So in the weft, oh yes, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to do 1 dividing section, 2 of the bodies. So let's generate again. Hit the view. And okay, so maybe that was what I intended to do. And if I want to save it at this point, I can do File, Save As, give it a name, choose my location where I want it to save. So one other thing to note is, notice when you get even more complex examples with section assembly with lots of groups and things, when you get to one that you want to save, maybe for a particular purpose or whatever, you might want to do a file save as and name that file that has the sections marked something that you can get back to in case you want to remember how many of these you did, because once you change these, it's saved. Now you could go back and get it out of version history, but sometimes I like to save, like maybe I do one version as a runner, another one as a towel width, that type of thing, and I may want to change exactly how I configured it up here. So that is an overview of how to use section assembly.